What if the chaos of the world had no power to disturb you unless you first gave it permission? The Stoics knew that true calm is not the absence of a storm, but a profound stillness of the mind that can be maintained within it. This is the secret to fear mastery. Stay still in chaos. Fear Mastery, Stoic Calm, compiled and published by Stoic Dominion. Lesson 1. Inner stillness amid outer storms. The eye of a hurricane is a place of uncanny and profound calm, a center of tranquility surrounded by a vortex of immense destructive power. So too can the human mind become a center of unshakable stillness, even when the storms of life rage with their greatest fury. We have all felt the disorienting winds of chaos, a sudden crisis at work, a tumultuous conflict in a relationship, or a wave of uncertainty that sweeps across the world. In these moments, our instinct is to be swept up in the storm, our minds becoming a whirlwind of panic, anxiety, and frantic thought. The problem is that when our inner world mirrors the outer chaos, we become completely powerless. We are a leaf in the wind, tossed about with no direction or agency. Our decisions become reactive, our judgments clouded, and our ability to navigate the situation effectively is lost. We add our own inner turmoil to the external storm, making a difficult situation exponentially worse. The transformative solution is the deliberate cultivation of a quiet inner space, a mental sanctuary that remains untouched by external events. It is the practice of becoming the calm eye of your own hurricane. The core Stoic wisdom is the understanding that the outer world and the inner world are two separate domains. While we often cannot control the storms of life, we have the absolute potential to control our response to them. Inner stillness is not a passive state. It is an active and powerful choice to maintain your mental and emotional sovereignty, no matter how fiercely the winds may blow. The actionable steps to finding this stillness require consistent training. First, begin a daily 5-minute practice of stillness meditation. Sit quietly and focus on a single, unchanging point. It could be your breath, a candle flame, or a spot on the wall. When your mind wanders into the storm of thought, gently and repeatedly guide it back to your point of focus. This builds the muscle of attention. Second, throughout your day, take stillness breaks. For 60 seconds, stop what you are doing and simply observe the world around you without judgment, allowing it to be as it is without reacting to it. Third, create a physical anchor for stillness, such as touching your thumb and forefinger together. Practice this during your meditation so that the physical gesture becomes associated with the feeling of calm. The benefit of this practice is the development of a profound and portable peace. You will carry your sanctuary within you. In moments of chaos, you will be able to access a place of calm clarity, allowing you to think clearly and act wisely. You will become a force of stability for yourself and for those around you. Your call to action is to commit to the 5-minute stillness meditation every day for 1 week. The goal is not to have a perfectly clear mind, but to practice the art of returning to your center again and again. This inner stillness is our fortress, but to hold it, we must first understand the enemy that threatens it. Our next lesson will delve into the true nature of fear. If you are ready to find the calm in the chaos, let us know by liking this video. Lesson 2. Understanding the nature of fear. Fear is a phantom that projects a terrifying image onto the blank screen of the future. The wise soul learns to turn on the lights, to see that the screen is empty, and that the phantom was a creation of their own mind. We experience fear as an external threat. We believe we are afraid of flying, of public speaking, of financial ruin, or of what the future may hold. We see these things as inherently frightening, external realities that impose the feeling of fear upon us. The problem with this perspective is that it makes us victims of a world filled with endless potential threats. If fear is caused by external things, then we must constantly try to control and manipulate the world to avoid feeling fear. An exhausting and impossible task that paradoxically creates even more anxiety. The transformative solution is to embrace the profound Stoic insight that fear is not caused by external events, but by our judgments and interpretations about those events. Fear is an inside job. It is the story we tell ourselves about what might happen in the future. The core idea is that we are not afraid of the thing itself, but of our own thoughts about the thing. A turbulent flight is just motion and noise. Our fear comes from our judgment that this motion and noise might lead to a crash. The audience is just a group of people. Our fear comes from our judgment that they might disapprove of us. By understanding that fear is a product of our own mind, we reclaim our power over it. If we created the fear with our thoughts, we can uncreate it with better thoughts. The actionable steps to deconstruct fear require you to become a detective of your own judgments. First, when you feel fear, ask yourself the question, what specific story am I telling myself about the future that is causing this feeling? Articulate the catastrophic narrative clearly. Second, examine that story and ask, what is the evidence for this? Is this story a certainty or just a possibility? And if it is just a possibility, how many other possibilities are there? Third, consciously create an alternative, more rational story. It doesn't have to be overly positive, merely objective. For example, this turbulence is a normal part of air travel, and the plane is built to withstand it. The benefit of this practice is that fear loses its mysterious power. It is no longer a monstrous external threat, but a transparent and manageable internal process. You will develop the ability to see your fearful thoughts as mere suggestions from your mind, not as commands that must be obeyed. This is the foundation of fear mastery. Your practice for this week is to take one small fear that has been bothering you and apply this 3-step deconstruction process to it. Write down the fearful story and then write down a more rational, objective alternative. See how it changes the feeling. Understanding the nature of fear is crucial, but how do we maintain our calm when we are in a genuinely high-stakes, stressful situation? Our next lesson will explore the art of emotional detachment. To continue this journey, please subscribe to Stoic Dominion. Lesson 3. Emotional detachment in high stress. The master archer, in the final moment before releasing the arrow, is not consumed by the desire for the target. They are detached from the outcome. They're focused solely on the perfection of their form. This emotional detachment is the secret to performing with grace under immense pressure. In high-stress situations, a critical presentation, a difficult negotiation, or a personal crisis, our natural tendency is to become intensely attached to a specific outcome. Our emotions get entangled with the result, and we are flooded with anxiety, hope, and fear, all of which degrade our performance. The problem is that this emotional attachment is a poison to clear thinking. When we are desperate for a certain outcome, our judgment becomes clouded. We are more likely to make mistakes, to be swayed by our emotions, and to act impulsively. Our intense desire to succeed becomes the very reason we fail. The transformative solution is the Stoic practice of emotional detachment, often encapsulated in the idea of separating the process from the outcome. It is the discipline of pouring all of your energy and focus into the quality of your own actions, while simultaneously releasing your emotional grip on the result, which is ultimately outside of your control. The core wisdom is that our sphere of control is limited to our own intentions and actions. We can prepare for the presentation with excellence, but we cannot control how the audience receives it. We can negotiate with integrity and skill, but we cannot control the other party's final decision. By detaching from the uncontrollable outcome and attaching to the controllable process, we liberate ourselves from anxiety and are free to perform at our absolute best. The actionable steps to practice this detachment require a mental shift. First, before entering a high-stress situation, clearly define your process goals. These are actions completely within your control. For example, my goal is to speak clearly and calmly, or my goal is to listen respectfully. Second, consciously release the outcome. Verbally or mentally say to yourself, I will do my absolute best in my actions, and I will accept whatever result follows with equanimity. Third, during the event, whenever you feel anxiety about the outcome rising, gently guide your focus back to the immediate process, your breathing, your posture, the very next word you need to say. The benefit of this practice is a state of calm focus known as flow. You will act with greater precision and confidence because your mind is not distracted by worry. You will experience less stress and anxiety, regardless of the outcome, because your sense of success is tied to your own virtuous performance, not to external results. Your call to action is to apply this to a small, upcoming task. It could be a simple phone call or a workout. Define your success solely by how well you execute the process and consciously practice indifference to the final result. This is how you train for the major leagues of life. This emotional detachment protects us in the moment. But true resilience requires us to build a mind that is inherently strong. Our next lesson will focus on the daily practice of building your mental fortress. Lesson 4. Building mental fortresses daily. A great fortress is not a gift of nature. It is a work of human hands, built stone by stone, day by day, with foresight and immense labor. In the same way, a mind that can remain still in chaos is not a gift of temperament, but a fortress of the spirit, built through the daily discipline of intentional practice. We often wait for a crisis to test our mental strength. We drift through our calm days with little thought for our inner defenses, assuming that we will somehow rise to the occasion when adversity strikes. We treat our minds like an unfortified city with its gates wide open. The problem with this approach is that a mind untrained in resilience will inevitably be overrun by the first serious invasion of chaos or fear. Strength, composure, and wisdom are not magical qualities that appear in a crisis. They are the results of prior training. To expect to be calm in a storm without having practiced calm in the quiet is a recipe for disaster. The transformative solution is to commit to the daily construction of your mental fortress. This means engaging in regular, proactive exercises that strengthen your mind's ability to withstand stress, manage fear, and maintain perspective, even on days when you feel no immediate threat. The core Stoic idea is that our character is the sum of our habits. Just as a soldier trains every day to prepare for a battle they hope never comes, the Stoic practitioner engages in daily mental exercises to prepare for life's inevitable challenges. These exercises are the stones and mortar from which an unshakable inner citadel is built. The actionable steps are about integrating small, powerful mental workouts into your daily routine. First, practice the premeditation of evils, premeditatio malorum. For a few minutes each morning, calmly contemplate things that could go wrong during your day, not to create anxiety, but to rehearse your calm, rational response in advance. Second, practice gratitude journaling. Each evening, write down 3 things that went well, no matter how small. This trains your mind to scan for the positive and builds resilience against negativity. Third, regularly read and reflect upon wisdom that strengthens your spirit. Spend 10 minutes a day with the words of the Stoics or other great thinkers, letting their wisdom fortify your own. The benefit of this daily practice is that you will fundamentally change your mental architecture. You will build a mind that is not easily shaken. When chaos does arrive, your trained mind will default to a state of calm preparedness rather than panic. You will have the inner resources to face any challenge with grace and strength. Your practice for this week is to choose one of these daily fortress-building exercises, the premeditation, the gratitude journal, or the wisdom reading, and commit to it for 7 consecutive days. This is how you begin laying the foundation of your inner citadel. A strong fortress gives us a safe place from which to act. But how do we ensure our actions are wise? Our next lesson will focus on choosing a calm response over the reactive urge. Please like this video if you are committed to building your mental fortress. Lesson 5. Calm response over reactive urge. In the midst of chaos, the undisciplined mind is a taut string on a violin, vibrating frantically with every touch. The disciplined mind is like the deep, resonant body of a cello, which absorbs the vibration and transforms it into a calm, measured, and powerful note. When faced with a sudden shock, a piece of bad news, an unexpected accusation, or a sudden change of plans, our nervous system is designed to react instantly. This primal fight or flight urge floods our body with adrenaline, short-circuiting our rational thought process and compelling us to act immediately and impulsively. The problem is that this reactive urge while useful for escaping an immediate physical threat, is disastrous in most modern situations. Actions born from this state of panic are almost always ill-considered. We send the angry email, we shout the hurtful word, we make the rash decision, and then we are left to deal with the destructive consequences of our own lack of self-control. The transformative solution is the mastery of the sacred pause, the conscious choice to create a buffer of time between the stimulus and your response. It is the disciplined habit of overriding the immediate reactive urge in favor of a calm, deliberate, and reasoned response. The core Stoic wisdom is that between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space lies our power and our freedom. The reactive urge wants to collapse this space. The practice of the Stoic is to guard this space with their life, for it is here that we reclaim our humanity from our primal instincts. By choosing to respond rather than react, we move from being a puppet of our emotions to being the master of our actions. The actionable steps to cultivating this habit are about training a new reflex. First, you must have a pre-planned pause trigger. It could be the physical action of taking one slow, deep breath, or the mental action of repeating a calming mantra like, respond, do not react. Second, when a shock occurs, your first and only job is to deploy your pause trigger immediately. This interrupts the reactive signal. Third, in the space created by your pause, ask yourself a simple, clarifying question. What would the wisest, strongest, and calmest version of myself do right now? The benefit of this practice is that you will cease to be a source of chaos in your own life. You will stop making situations worse through your own impulsive reactions. You will develop a reputation as a calm, steady, and reliable presence in times of crisis. You will preserve your energy and your dignity by refusing to be hijacked by your own primal urges. Your call to action is to identify your pause trigger today. Practice it 5 times in a state of calm, so that your body and mind know the drill. Be ready to deploy it the next time life throws you an unexpected challenge. Pausing gives us the space to choose. But where should we place our focus within that space? Our next lesson will explore the immense power of present moment awareness. Share your chosen pause trigger in the comments below. Lesson 6. Power through present awareness. The mind gripped by fear is a captive of a future that has not happened. It projects endless catastrophic scenarios, suffering 1,000 imaginary tragedies in the theater of its own imagination. The key to liberation is to walk out of that theater and return to the solid, tangible reality of the present moment. In times of chaos and uncertainty, our minds naturally gravitate toward the future, trying to predict and control what will happen next. We get lost in endless what-if scenarios, most of them negative. This future-oriented anxiety is paralyzing as we are trying to solve problems that do not yet exist. The problem is that when our awareness is lost in the imaginary future, we are completely disconnected from the only place where we have any real power, the here and now. We cannot act in the future. We can only act in the present. This mental time travel drains our energy and makes us feel helpless as we are fighting phantoms in a world of speculation. The transformative solution is the rigorous practice of anchoring your awareness in the present moment. It is the discipline of pulling your mind back from the future it is trying to invent and focusing it intently on the simple, concrete reality of your immediate surroundings and physical sensations. The core Stoic idea is that the present moment is our only true possession. The past is gone and the future is uncertain. All we ever have is now. By training our awareness to reside in the present, we escape the self-inflicted suffering of anxiety. We find a sanctuary of calm in the immediacy of what is, freeing ourselves from the tyranny of what if. This is not about ignoring the future, but about preparing for it by being fully effective and grounded in the present. The actionable steps to cultivate present awareness are sensory and grounding. First, engage your senses. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise is a powerful circuit breaker for anxiety. Second, focus on a single, simple physical task with your full attention. It could be slowly drinking a glass of water, feeling the coolness and the sensation of swallowing, or it could be washing your hands, focusing only on the temperature of the water and the feeling of the soap. Third, practice mindful walking. With each step, feel the sensation of your foot connecting with the ground. Anchor your wandering mind to this simple, repetitive, physical reality. The benefit of this practice is an immediate reduction in anxiety. By grounding yourself in the present, you starve your fear of its fuel source, the future. You will feel a sense of calm agency return as you reconnect with the tangible world and your ability to act within it. Your motivational practice is to use the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding exercise the very next time you feel your mind spiraling into future-based worry. Use it as your primary tool to return your awareness to the power of now. By being fully present, we reclaim our power to act. But how do we project that power outward to influence the chaos itself? Our final lesson will explore the art of commanding chaos with Stoic poise. Lesson 7. Commanding chaos with Stoic poise. A calm sea captain inspires confidence in their crew, even in the most terrifying storm. Their poise, their steady hand on the wheel, and their calm voice are not just a reflection of their inner state. They are a powerful force that brings order to the chaos around them. To stay still in chaos is not merely a defensive act of self-preservation, it is the ultimate offensive strategy. In a group environment, whether it is a family crisis, a team at work facing a deadline, or a community in turmoil, chaos is contagious. Fear and panic can spread from person to person like a virus, amplifying the disorder and leading to collective failure. The problem is that we often underestimate our own influence. We believe we are just one person in the storm, and so we allow ourselves to be swept up in the collective panic, adding our own fear to the mix and contributing to the very chaos we despise. We forget that our state of being is a powerful broadcast. The transformative solution is to consciously embody and project Stoic poise. This is the practice of understanding that your inner stillness is not just for you. It is a gift you give to others. It is the choice to become an anchor of calm and reason in a sea of reactivity, thereby commanding the chaos rather than being commanded by it. The core wisdom is that a calm and rational presence is profoundly influential. When one person in a group refuses to participate in the panic, they create an alternative emotional reality. Their poise acts as a silent invitation for others to step out of their own fear and into a more resourceful state. You become the lighthouse that guides the other ships away from the rocks. You do not achieve this by shouting or giving orders, but through the quiet authority of your own unshakable composure. The actionable steps are about being a leader through your presence. First, control your nonverbal communication. Maintain a calm and open posture. Keep your facial expression neutral and thoughtful. Make steady, reassuring eye contact. Your body language must broadcast calm. Second, control your tone of voice. Speak slowly, deliberately, and at a slightly lower volume than the chaos around you. A calm tone cuts through panic noise. Third, focus the group on the immediate, controllable next step. Gently steer the conversation away from blame and catastrophic speculation and toward a simple, constructive question. What is the one thing we can do right now? The benefit of this practice is that you will become a true leader, regardless of your official title. You will not only master your own fear, but will help others master theirs. You will transform chaotic, unproductive situations into focused and effective ones, simply through the power of your own cultivated stillness. Your final call to action is to take on the role of the calm presence in a minor group discussion this week. While others may get excited or agitated, practice maintaining your vocal and physical poise. Observe the effect it has on the dynamic of the group. You now have the 7 lessons to stay still in chaos. Which will you begin to master first? Let us know your commitment in the comments. Today we have learned that the ultimate victory over fear and chaos is won not through struggle, but through stillness. By understanding our fear, detaching from outcomes, building our inner fortress, and choosing a calm response, we become the unshakable eye of the storm, capable of commanding peace with our very presence. Thank you for taking this journey into the heart of Stoic calm. If this guide has provided you with tools for strength, please like, comment with your insights, and subscribe to Stoic Dominion to continue mastering your inner world.